Hello, hello. Uh, this is a tutorial on Robo pricing. This is a feature that we released a while back, and I think it's important for you to understand how the triggers and pricing rules work. We couldn't make it too user-friendly because that will take control away from you if you want to customize it crazy. I know a lot of users ask for this, so here we go. And keep in mind, this is probably the most advanced listing strategy, initial pricing for your listings out in the market. Here are a few reasons. You can fully edit your rules, edit any of your triggers. You can create new rules per marketplace, per FBA, per MF, and you can easily select them inside the batch. Inside the batch, you can just choose any other rule you got. The rank, it's not current rank. It is actually default to average rank, average 6-month rank. If you've been doing Amazon for a while, you know that rank means nothing. It's worthless. A product that is showing a 1 million rank when it sells, it drops to 100,000. See, that does do not rely on rank. Either way, we could go ahead and get started and just show you a few things. So pricing rule, you can do default price, match price, very simple, like most other applications that have, but we also have robo pricing which we're giving you full control over your pricing, initial pricing. And the min and max rules are pretty straightforward if you have different setups, but we're not going to cover that here. Anyway, by default, you get a default rule set. And it's for books, but you can always, again, add any sort of rules for yourself or different categories. And when you do set as defaults, then any new batch you create is going to use this is specific rule. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the table. Every rule would have a set of triggers, which means, and it's being processed in the order as you see on the screen. So the first one is 1 through 150,000. And then if you click on edit, we can actually see what's going on. If the first one doesn't match, then we're going to go to second, third, and until the last one. Let's say none of the rules match, then on your price, on your main listing page, you're going to see the price of 9999, four nines. Okay, over here, every trigger that you open gonna have four sections. You're gonna have selectors, you're gonna have setters, limiters, and profit protectors. This is if you are a subscriber to RoboScout for your scouting application, you're gonna see a much more advanced features, but it's very similar to this. Even the page would look very similar to this, but you would have more control. And the reason is here we're just doing initial pricing. We're not doing complete pricing, which a lot of people do still use this to set their own prices for a couple of months and then have the repricer take over. But yeah, that RoboScout is definitely a lot more advanced with a lot more historic data that you can actually use inside your triggers. Anyway, let's move forward. Selectors basically mean basically checks if this trigger is going to match or not. If it matches, it goes to next steps, setters, limiters, and so on. If it doesn't match, then we're going to go from to second rule to see if the second rule's selector is matching or not. Then we're going to go, let's say it does match. It is between 1 and 150,000 rank, average rank. And then we're going to go to setters. The setters is, and as you can see, you can click on add setters here and add more setters. The setters basically sets your price initially, right? And then the limiters would limit or lower your price to specific criteria. The profit protector, if you're listing low value items, it's going to increase your price so that you make it exactly $1 profit in this case. Again, let's go back to setters. With setters, let's say we have three of them here, three setters here. With setters, we are going to choose the highest price among them, among these three setters or setter functions, that's what we call them. In this example, we're saying match price one. If FBA used, fifth slot FBA used, sorry, set it to fifth FBA used slot. And then go ahead, check in use buy box on match price two. Check use buy box. Okay, let's say this one is 20, this one is 22. We're gonna actually choose this one. Then, because it did exist, we're not even gonna go to the third one. Why? Because stop on match. Stop on match basically says from here that stop on match is enabled to any other setter on top of it. If we have a price, don't go further. So when you see stop on match on, It means we're not going further. We're not going to check. We're not going to set the price, anything after stop on match. But let's say FBA use doesn't exist, the fifth slot, and match price number two, the used buy box, also doesn't exist. Then we're going to go to third one and set our price by looking at the MF price, the first slot, and we're going to actually increase it by 40%. So it's $10. We're going to actually set it to $14. This is how we set our price. And also one thing to mention, you see that it says slot number 5. If only 4 FBA offers, only 3 FBA offers exist, it doesn't mean that we're going to skip this. No, we're going to go to the last FBA used offer that exists that Amazon shows us, right? So if there are only 3 FBA offers, we're actually going to, this rule is going to actually go select the third one. So keep that in mind. So that's that. And then limiters, very straightforward. Unlike setters that we chose the highest price among them, we're choosing the lowest price between among the limiter functions here. Okay. So here, pretty simple. We're going to say 10% below new buy box, which is usually Amazon, is 99% Amazon. And then limit price number 2 says MF new off the first slot of MF new. I'm just going to actually increase it by 20% and not go above that. This is something you would, the limiters basically help you avoid high pricing errors. So if you're not setting your price above 20% of MF new, there's a better chance that you don't end up having a high price error. Also, new buy box, you definitely don't want to price above new buy box. And you can do more things. If you want to prevent high pricing errors, I would, if it's really important to you, you can actually add another limiter here and go, let's say MFUs. I want to look at the third slot, and I want to limit it to 40% on top. Like I don't want to go above 40% of MFUs. Does that make sense? We don't want to. We don't want our FBA price to be too different from the MF price. Okay. And then the profit protector, again, it's dollars, it's going to limit it. It increases your price until you get exactly $1 in profit. Okay, that's pretty much it. I know could be a little bit complex, so I encourage you to actually talk to our live chat support. It's a real human, and talk to live chat support to ask questions to figure out if the triggers work the way you want it to work. And if I can switch my screen, there you go. It is the main listing page. You can also test your pricing rules by just looking at here, right? You can see the trigger number 1. It shows what trigger it matched to. So you can just try with different products to see how the real rules are performing. And again, here you can actually change your pricing rule. You can change a different rule name if you have one. And you click save and it starts using that. If you change your rules inside settings and you have another tab open for your main listing page like this one, make sure to refresh the page before listing again, because it has to pull your change settings again. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask us, to reach out to support, and have a wonderful day.